We're in the last week of April, and that means it's time to set up our May budget. So let's jump right into my budget template and see what we have planned for May. All right, so here we are looking at our budget template, and this is the template that we use every single month. This has grown over time. It was not as involved when we first started as it is now, and I am somebody who needs a lot of detail, and so this is a very detailed budget spreadsheet. If you are a new person here and you have not seen this before, I do sell this in my Etsy shop in both Google Sheets, which is what this is, and an Excel format. If you have an interest in this, there's a lot of functionality in it. There's lots of things that I don't talk about that are happening off screen here that you can't see, but it works really, really well for us. So with that, let's just jump in and talk about what we think is going to happen in May. So first of all, we always black out the details of our income, of our personal salaried income. And we start over here with this box, which is our income box, and it shows what our expected is going to be. And then we also plug in our actuals. And then all of this over here actually will populate this over here for the things that are every single month, which is our checks and then our rental income. So I have that already populated. For rental income, I'm going to change that to 600 over here, and you'll see how it's going to change right here. I'm going to hit enter, and then it populated 600 over here. We don't plan on doing anything in sinking funds. And then, and the reason why it's 600 instead of 750 is because there were 5 Fridays in April, and that only happens once every 3 months. So we have sinking funds. We don't plan on doing anything with that, nothing with the emergency fund. Tax refund, that's what we got last month from federal, but we do think that the state will come in May, and so I'm going to put that in. And then settlement, that's here because we got a settlement last month that we didn't expect to get actually. And you can see it here. You'll see it in the budget report. But we do think that there's actually going to be another settlement coming in from Facebook in May. And so I'm going to leave this row here instead of deleting it. Normally I would just get rid of it since it would normally be a one-off. It's unusual that two class action suits that we happen to have a claim for have settled so close together. So anyhow, I'm going to leave it blank because I don't know how much we're going to get, and I don't know exactly when we're going to get it. So then the total income that we are expecting for the month is $11,969. And that's the bucket that we have to work with, and we try to do a zero-based budget. So moving on, looking at giving, you can see here we do plan to do $130 in giving during the month. And then jumping to housing, we plan on $2,725 for the mortgage, $261 for utilities, which is the monthly gas and electric. We also need to put in $181 for the quarterly city utilities, which is water, garbage, sewer. And then our internet will be $121 and our mobile services will be $155, bringing our total housing to $3,443. Next up is transportation, and while gas prices have gone up tremendously in recent weeks, I am going to leave this at $250. Actually, I think I'm going to put it up a little bit more. I think I'm going to put it to $300, and here's why. Matt works from home 100% of the time, except once every few months, he goes into the office and works every day for 2 weeks, and that's happening in May. The last time he had to do it was in November. So he is working on site for 2 weeks in the month of May. So I'm going to bump this up a little bit. I don't know that he'll actually use that much more in gas, but we'll just make sure that we have it covered. If we come in under, then great. I still am working a hybrid schedule, so I can be on site or working from home. And I usually do 1 to 2 days on site a week and then the rest at home. We have $24.99 for OnStar. We don't plan on any repairs for either of the cars. And then there's no registrations coming due, and we haven't had to use Uber for quite some time. So that brings our total transportation to $324 for the month. For food, we plan on $725 and $175 for dining. And that brings a total of $900. And for those of you who might be new, We have a family of 3 living here full time, and that is me, my husband, Matt, and our 20-year-old son, Henry. He's our baby, and he still lives at home and is working full time and going to school. So we're feeding 3 adults here and hoping to keep that will keep things, that 900 will be plenty for the 3 of us. Our weakness is definitely eating out. So I don't have any plans for the kiddos this month. There's nothing specific coming up that I need to plan for, but if anything pops up for them, I usually throw it in here so that I can see just how much we're spending on various things that might be happening, because we do have 2 children who live really close by. They're both adults, and then we have a grandchild. In pets, I am going to take food down to 90. I think we finally figured out how much the special food that we get for Lucy is going to cost, and Uther doesn't need any this month, so I think it's going to be about $90. And yes, that is expensive. Lucy is going to be 14 any day. We don't know exactly when her birthday is. It's late April, early May. We usually go with May 1st. And she has a mass in her tummy. And so her time is short, and I'm not trying to make this sad. She's had an amazing life. We have had such a good time with her for 14 years. And when that mass grows to the point that obstructs her intestines, then we're going to have to say goodbye. So in the meantime, since we have found out about this, which was the first week of March, we changed her to a prescription soft food diet. And it's expensive food, but also it's more expensive because the dog gets into it all the time. Ugh, it's so frustrating. So we have not figured out a system yet to keep him out of it. Anyway, so I feel like we're spending more than we probably need to, but it's worth it. She's much more comfortable and not as sick now. She's actually acting like everything's fine. And that's the way we want it, until the point that her quality of life changes, where she can't, her digestive system isn't working right anymore. We're going to enjoy every minute we have with her. So grooming is $25, and I've talked about this before, but we pay for Uther, we pay $19 a month to Petco for what's called Vital Care, and you can get their teeth and their nails done up to once a week. So as often as once a week. So you could do it 4 times a month for $19 total, not $19 each time. It's the subscription. So we take them in usually 2 times a month, and with tip and everything, it comes out to about $25. Other supplies is just general other supplies that we have. And so that brings total pets to $160 for the month. In insurance, you can see here, we have several different things that we are enrolled in. And so for accident, it'll be $35. We don't have auto insurance due in May. I think it's actually coming up due in June. Critical illness is $74, dental $23, hospitality indemnity is $40, or hospital, indemnity is $40. That's if you have to be admitted to the hospital. Identity theft is $12, legal is $15, life is $92. Matt's union dues are $60. I didn't know where else to put them, so I put them in the insurance section. Medical is $467, pet insurance is $54, and short-term disability is $62, bringing the total to $939. In streaming, let's see here, $30 for streaming, $3. Oh, this has gone up a little bit. Actually, it's more like $450, I think. Oh, $424 it says from last month. So $424 for HP Inc. Cinemark is $10, and then I'm going to change family entertainment to $0. And that brings our total to $44. And the reason why I changed that to $0 is because we have a sinking fund for that now. And so I don't know what we're going to be doing from one month to the next. We don't have anything specific planned for May. So I'm just going to leave it at $0. Health, we are going to be putting $514 into our flexible spending accounts. The gym is $33 and healthcare is $100. And the healthcare line is just general catch-all things that we need to pay for, like bills that have to be paid, medical bills that aren't covered by FSA because we've exhausted all of it or whatever it might be. Even Matt went and stocked us up on vitamins the other day. I put that under healthcare. because that purchase was specifically, he went to Walgreens and did the buy one, get one free. So anyway, $647 is what we plan to do for health expenses in May. And then this was the extras that we had in April, all the different things that were going on. And so my mouse is not working very well. I've been having trouble with it. Let me try this again. Ugh. Just delete all this. There we go. All right. So I just messed all of that up. There we go. So I don't plan on any extras. Usually extras are exactly that, like they're unplanned extras that pop up. And extras really is kind of a catch-all for everything else for everything that doesn't fit into a category, or which would normally be miscellaneous, but it might be a thing that I want to be able to see. And so I put it in extras because I want to know how much we're spending on our tax filing, that kind of thing. Down here in miscellaneous, we have personal spending. This was, come on. Here we go. Jeez, my mouse is not working well. We're going to change this to 60, 150, and 150. There were some things going on in April that's why that was up a little bit. So total expected is $360 for May for miscellaneous. There we go. Now we're moving into our savings, and you can see here now things are a little bit, there's more columns than what we had before. So first of all, we plan on putting $200 into our emergency fund. Investments are $50, college savings is $100, and then retirement is going to be $603 total, bringing our total savings to $953. And so those are things, and these numbers over here, the previous balance, first of all, really I get into a lot of detail over here on the right side with all of these things in a budget report after the month ends. So if you're new here and you're going to watch our April budget report, I will talk about all of this in detail. But one of the things that I like to point out is that for these three rows, I do year to date. I like to see how much we've put in year to date, as opposed to this row that is an ongoing revolving, that balance is forever and ever. It doesn't cut off anywhere. So this is since the first of the year, how much we've put in. In sinking funds, we have a whole bunch of them. If you are new here, you would not know this, but I am crazy for sinking funds. And the reason why is because we are terrible with our money. Terrible with our money. And I know this, and we still are not good with our money. And I am one of at the beginning of this, I thought it was my husband. It is not my husband. It is me. And so what I have done to try to combat that, so that we have what we need for exactly what we need it for, is to create a bunch of different categories in our sinking funds. So we have auto insurance that we put $160 a month in, which is due every 6 months. We have our auto registrations, which is due once a year. We have one for Bug, which is our granddaughter, and just a little extra money that we set aside for her. And actually, I'm going to remove all of these. That's from last month. You can see my mouse isn't working. It jumps. And business travel, $15, just in case Matt has to do anything. Sometimes he has to go to training and they require you to pay for your own expenses, and then they reimburse you, but I like to have it saved up so we aren't trying to cover it in that month. City utilities, I'm going to put in $150 instead of $100. Clothing is $35. Entertainment is $15. Estate planning, I don't know how that ended up being $12, but we're going to make it $20. Gifts is $50. Healthcare, $50. Henry, again, another fund that I have just in case we need it for anything, $15 for him. $100 for holidays, $150 for home maintenance. Image cosmetics, we're going to do $45. Actually, I'm going to make that $35 because I am not getting my eyebrows done anymore. And so we don't need as much every month for that. Actually, I can make it $30 because I was doing my eyebrows every 5 weeks. So life insurance, this is a separate life insurance policy that we have that has nothing to do with our work. And so that's $81 a month. We're not doing anything for extra debt payments right now. Online subscriptions, $100. I'm going to change that to $80. pet expense, I'm going to leave it 100 because we just don't, there's nothing in it right now. It was, we had to use what was in there in March because, and in April, because of expenses related to Lucy's condition that we found out about in March. So our vet expenses have been pretty high. Technology, I'm going to leave at 50. Vacation, we are saving up for a vacation. It's pretty high there because we knew we had excuse me, what am I trying to say? A tax refund coming in. We have another one this month. I'm going to go ahead and put 500 in here. And so this is a vacation, a family vacation we're going on next year. Vehicles, 150. Wedding anniversary, 50. And then Xanthi, we put $50 in her account for her. And that brings our total sinking funds to 1,886 is what we plan in May. And finally is our debt section. So it's been a while since I've done a budget video. So for those of you who remember that this was a little bit different order than it was before, I kind of had it in order of priority, I guess. And I finally put it in order of lowest to highest balances. And so what you see here is, you see black font and you see pink font, and that has to do with whose name is who's primary for that particular debt. So black is Matt and pink is me. And it's not because we're keeping score or anything. It's because when we started, we had over 40 debts and I could not keep track of everything that was going on. And Matt wanted me to do something different. He wanted me to prioritize his differently than mine. And so I had to be able to easily decipher which ones were which. And so I've never changed it, even though our list is much shorter now. It includes these up here. And I'm not going to talk about these right now. I talk about them in my budget report at the end of the month. So I'll focus on that, but these are the only ones that are left. We've paid off over half of them. So the first one, my husband does pay child support, and he had 3 orders, which he paid one off about a year ago. This one is just about to be done, thank goodness. So we'll pay $456 in child support to this one. This is an old credit card for $90, another old credit card for $80, and then here's his other child support for $91. And then we have our Capital One card at $25, UAS student loan. This is a private student loan for Matt, has both of our names on it. Our car payment is $550. Our HELOC is $205. This is a new item. This is a new credit card. It's not new, sorry. We've had this credit card for many years. We've had it for many years, longer than we've been married, but it is a new balance because we have racked it up. So it is a new debt item again that we previously paid off using the HELOC. And now here we are with our terrible habits and we have a balance again. And so now we have to pay about $400 a month on this card. And I did probably 75% of that spending. And so if you are interested in hearing more about that and how we got here with that, I did do a video, whichever video I posted right before this one about work and just life burnout and the impacts that it has had on me and our family. So this is a new line item, $400 we have to pay here. And it's actually a little less than that, but I'm just going to round it to 400. So student loans, these are Matt's graduate student loans. We don't have to pay on them right now because they're federal loans, and also he's in school. And then our family loan, we pay $300 a month on that. And then Matt's got his undergrad student loans. Again, they're federal student loans, so we don't have to pay on those right now. And they're not accruing any interest. So that brings our total debt to $2,249 for our payments next month. Now, if you look here, I have our total expenses at $12,038, but our income is $11,969. So obviously that's a problem and we need to make an adjustment. So I am going to go reduce vacation by $70 and take it down to $430. And then that brings us pretty much to zero. And so that is our plan for May, including our new debt row that I just added. So yeah, I'm really disappointed in myself, and I watched it happen. I knew it was happening and I did it anyway. And I'm still struggling. I'm still struggling with spending. I have been on a spending spiral for months now, and a lot of it for the house. I've been doing a ton of stuff with the house. And when I say with the house, I mean like organizing and things like that, that have helped us get it. That has really helped my mental health in terms of getting things organized and finding a place for everything and all of that. But it has come at a cost, literally, in terms of our finances. So that's what we'll be dealing with for the next little bit here until we get that paid off. And we'll go over the rest of this stuff over here to the right in my budget reports. So I'm not going to spend any time talking about that. Hopefully you guys have already started thinking about your budget for May. Maybe you already have yours set up. Let me know in the comments if you are struggling, or if you have any special expenses that you are thinking maybe others need to be thinking about for May. Go ahead and share it down in the comments. That's all I have for you guys today. I will see you next time.